They're gonna send me to the chair. Tell them I didn't do it. I didn't do it, I tell you. Hi, it's me, Average Me, Mark on the Average Me channel, and I am in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. And this town is pretty cool. It's got a lot of old world charm to it, even though, you know, Canada's not a real old country. One of the things that I'm checking out here are all the prisons. For some reason, this city was chosen to house a lot of prisoners. And there's active prisons and there's historical prisons. And I am heading now to the Canada Prison Museum. I have no idea what to expect, but I think it sounds like it might be pretty cool. I think it's really kind of crazy. You have this beautiful harbor, this beautiful marina, and right next door is the prison. If I was a prisoner right now, first of all, I probably wouldn't get over that barbed wire fence. And secondly, whoever's in that turret would have probably shot me by now. This is obviously an old structure. This is that guard turret. And they have covered the windows with cinder block. So here it is, I made it. Canada's Penitentiary Museum. So this is the outside of the prison museum, and it was originally the home of the warden. And this is all built through convict labor. They have quarries, limestone quarries in the area, which convicts actually worked. They brought up the stone, they built the home. And in my book, this is more than just a home. This really is a mansion. So there you go. You can make $960 a year. So that apparently tells where the employees are at any given time. This was a rotunda bell. It rang more than 100 times a day to signify movement in the cell blocks, and in 1971 it was destroyed in a riot. So this is what's called the count board. It was developed in 1922, and it tells the situation with all of the cells, and the colors indicate the reasons a cell may or may not be empty. And here is one of the guards utilizing the count board. And this is called the box. They fine prisoners in here as punishment.
What is that for?
Let me out. I wouldn't do it again. The length of confinement inside this box was anywhere from 15 minutes to 9 hours. 9 hours in this little tiny box with only 3 air holes. One here and 2 on the top. Absolutely beyond belief that this was the way they treated criminals. Man, oh man. I imagine that probably clubbed a few inmates on the head in its time. And look at that lock and key. I love that. It says dungeon on it. This is a radiator that was the primary source of heat in the rotunda. And that bell that we looked at earlier sat above this. And there's the radiator. And there is the bell sitting above it. And this is the mug shot chair. that held their head in place as they got their mugshot taken. And there's how it worked. Okay, I'm going to sit in the mugshot chair. Holy cow, look at this. All the illegal knives and shivs that they have recovered over the years. There's one made from a toothbrush, and they sharpened the end. Imagine it could do some damage. A plastic knife that they sharpened the edge of. Probably do that by rubbing it on some stone. I guess anything could be a weapon. Even a ruler. And all of these items are contraband from the prison for women. Man, they were just as vicious as the guys. And don't forget the still. They even found ways to make home brew. And look at this, there are ways that they found to hide weapons. There's a fake gun in one of those books and a knife in the other.
He's become chairman of the inmate committee.
This looks like a stack of meal trays. Think again. This is how somebody figured out a way to escape from prison. It's actually a hollowed out box.
And the other wall is total. It's going to be.
And apparently some people have escaped through a variety of means. Here we see some artificial heads that were crafted by the criminals and the inmates in the prison over the years. That's some kind of a cloth bag with a wooden ear, and then it's been painted. And there you can see it as it was used in the cell. It looks like it's made out of a mop, some kind of paper mache, probably real hair. This guy made it out. They're going to give a $100 reward. And that was sometime around 1914. I suppose when you have nothing but time in your hands, you can carve a pretty realistic looking gun. And here are some prison-made grappling hooks that apparently were used in some escapes. Homemade rope. The ingenuity is incredible. And going around the perimeter of the ceiling, you can see some cell-made ropes. Looks like they're made out of bed sheets or possibly whatever they could find. And they're calling this a straitjacket, but it's little more than a canvas bag. And here's the straitjacket. I do have a video of myself hanging by my ankles getting out of one of these. So back in the day, they used convict labor, and this area was big for limestone quarries. So a lot of what we see here is the tools that they used in the limestone quarries. And there they are in their striped uniforms, breaking rocks. And this is a type of brass basin and faucet that were installed in the cells in the 1890s. Holy cow! Will you look at this? once again, an extremely tight space and small cell. This one barely fits me height-wise. The width takes up my entire shoulder from side to side, and that was the entire width of the cell. So this is a legitimate cell.
Yes. When Kingston Pen closed, that's what a typical cell looked like, the furniture, the clothing, the shoes, etc.
And what year did it close?
2013 September.
2013. And that's right across the street?
Yes.
And what is there now?
Well, right now they're doing tours. You can pay and take a tour.
So it was typically one man to a cell?
Yes, and you can see that on the explanation for that exhibit.
Thanks for watching, and keep your eyes open for part 2, where we look at prison torture devices and I visit an abandoned women's prison.